Hello coders, this is Pisky here. Welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we want to continue with our database implementation. We want to get a user, update a user, delete a user, and I will show you how you can use the query parameters, the custom query parameters to fetch this data. So let's get started. On previous tutorial, I showed you how to set up a Docker, how to connect to the Postgres database using a Docker. So in this tutorial, it's a continuation. So in our project, we can continue, and we already have these methods that we created on the previous tutorials. So this is the update and this is the get. So let's start to implement by get by ID. So what I want to do here, we have this user repository. We just use this user repository, and we can say find by ID, and it will return an optional. So we can say or else we can return a null. So if the user does not exist, we are going to return a null. If it exists, we can return an optional. So the delete is also easy with using this JPA. We just say user repository dot delete by ID, and you can pass the ID and the record will be deleted. So let's now go and test our endpoint. So in our Postman, you can see the other thing that I want to show you. If you start to run our database, it will drop and create a new one. So I can come back to our Postman, and we need to first create this so that we can test. So with these parameters, I can create, and we are getting 201. So for a get, I want to get by ID here. So let's check in our database the record that we have. So this is our ID. So let me copy the ID and can paste it here. And let me delete this. Then I can send. I click send. You can see we have returned our ID. In case the ID does not exist, you can do this and you don't get anything. So you can throw a 404 in case the ID does not exist. So you need to go to our implementation here, and in our get by ID API, we just do this. User if the user is null, here we can pass a user here. Here we can just say return response entity of not found, then build. Then we can test our endpoint. With Quarkus, you don't have to restart the application. You just go and test your endpoint again. Because now the record is no longer exist. You can see we are now getting 404. So let's create another one again. After creating another record here, we can come back here. We want to get the ID. This is the new ID. And I can copy the ID here. And we can go to our get. And we can get this record. So we can delete it by just change here and put delete method. And we can click send. And the record has been deleted. If we change back here to get, because the record is no longer exist, you can get a 404. So it means our delete is working. In our PG admin, if we try to run this again, you can see the record has been deleted. So this is how you can delete and get a record. We can now go to update. We can go to our update. So what we can do is to come here in our implementation here. Let's implement the update. So we need to get by ID. If it's now, we need to throw an exception. throw new runtime exception, and we just say ID not found. This is the ID. If the record is there, you can see we have first name and last name and age. These are the records that you want to update, and I can do this. We can do this. Set first name, record first name, set last name. So here it's last name, and we need to set age. So after doing this, we just say repository dot save, because we already have the ID, so it will update an existing record. So by doing this, we can update the age, and we can come back here, and we can click our post, and we can click send. A new record is created, and what we can do is to duplicate this, and this one is going to be an update, a put, right? Then if it's a put, we need the ID here for the record that you want to update, and we don't want to update username. It was like first name, last name, and age. So what I can do is to remove this, and I can just say age. It's a number, so I can just say age 25. Then let's see the record in our database by running this query. Yeah, and we want to update this record. You can copy the ID, and so far you can see the age, it does not have anything, the name. So we want to update first name and last name. So our put is like this, and the name, I can say test name, and test last name, and I can send a request like this. The 405, the method is not allowed. So let's see the issue here. If we go to this endpoint, is it a post? It's okay, it's called update profile. So users update profile, this is the method, and we can send a request again, and you can see you get a 201. So if I try to run this again, you can see the age is now 25, and the first name and last name has been updated. So we are not updating our username because it's always unique. Then the next thing now that you want to do is to go to this method, this one, which is find all. So the find all is going to be easy. What we can do in our service, we need to create .find all. It will return all users. So let's create this. Let's create this method. It's a method, sorry. And we can create this method find all, and we can implement it here. Then you just say repository dot find all. By doing this, if you come to our postman, we have to create again a record, and in our get here we just say users or this is our endpoint, and you can get everything. This is how you can implement it. So now the other thing is to find username, like, so if the username starts with BI, we want to get all the users with that form that starts with BI without case sensitive. So what you can do is to come to our repository. Let's go to our repository. So in our repository, it's going to be a list of user. right? This is a list, and you can put the list, and then we just say find by username containing ignore case, this one. Then you pass a username. So this is how you can do it. So we are looking for the username that containing the values that we pass here. So what you can do is to come into our implementation, and in our find, like here, we just say repository dot this, and we pass the username like. So we need to test our endpoint again. Let's create, and we can send a request, and we get 201. And here in our method, this one, it's used as a search. And it's a param, which is username. I already taught you this. If it starts with BISC, because our username with a username start with BISC, with the BI. So you can do this. You can get the record as a list. If you start with, even it's not case insensitive, if it starts with capital letter BI, it will return the record also. So this is how you can do it. And the last thing that I want to show you, let's say you want to find a name where name is BISC. So I want to show you how you can use these parameters. So here I will just say maybe there will be many names that start with BISC, like Jon Snow or John. So what you want to do, let me duplicate this, right? And I just say find by name. Here I'll pass the name. So I want to show you how you can use this add param. So just say add param, and we pass you pass here the name that you want to search, and here we want to use add query. In our query, you just say select you from user where first name is equal to the name that we are going to pass here. So what this does is this U is the name of our object. So this first name is we are looking for the first name, this one, and we are looking for this value that we are passing here. Or I can do this first name here, find by first name. So this is the method. So in here, let's look where we are containing this, and I can duplicate this, find by first name. Here I'll just say first name, and let's implement the method. We just say repository find by first name, and we can pass the first name. And in this way, we are looking the like. We can change this, and we can say users find by first name. And here we can change the method because it's the same, and let's remove it. Let's put required to true, no default value. So by default it goes to true, and the parameter is first name. So I need this method name, and I can come back here. Here the first name is BISC, So what I can do is to create this endpoint first. Sorry, there's something wrong. So here, let's create our user, and we can send a request, and a user has been created. Then we need to get by first name here. I will change here to first name, find by first name, and the first name, if I try to do this, I will not get anything because the first name that we are looking for, it's Bisc. So if I do this, here the field is incorrect. It's supposed to be first name like this. This is the endpoint that you are looking for, and you can get the record. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you are new to this channel, may you kindly subscribe, click the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we upload new video. Salut coders.